Cavasso Nuovo is a lush town in the province of Pordenone, located at the slopes of the Carnic Prealps. Its territory is essentially divided into two areas that are very different from one another morphologically. The level area, where the town center also emerges, starts at the feet of the hills and extends southwards, with a route that runs from the populated area to the countryside. Here you'll find the village of Ormiese, which is located in the old part of the town, and the small but charming church of St. Leonard. At the high part of the town there are some distinctive hamlets: Petrucco, Runcis, Grilli, Vescovi, Mas, Donis, and Maraldi, where you can enjoy striking panoramic views of both the Meduna River and the vast Pordenonese plain. Here various events are organized annually so that people can get to know these places. Among these gorgeous locations, which sadly are increasingly uninhabited, the hamlet of Runcis especially stands out. Here, post-earthquake structural interventions helped regain the characteristic architectural forms of one time. The impressive town church dedicated to Saint Remigius is instead located at the feet of a hill and can be seen from far away. Piazza Vittorio Emanuele II is located at its feet, at the center of which there is a big, centuries-old pine tree. The history of Cavasso Nuovo is connected to the lineage of the Counts of Bolcenigo, who over the centuries kept residence at the present-day Marvelous Palace, where today the Town Hall and the Immigration Museum are located. During the last century, many terrazzo layers from Cavasso Nuovo went abroad in search of fortune, and in doing so left a mark that attests to the worth of the Friulan people in the most disparate places. In the Palazzat, as this structure of strong visual impact is called, each year events are organized that are linked to history, culture, and art, as diverse extemporaneous exhibitions and conventions are held. Cavasso Nuovo's territory is rich in water, and not just because of the presence of the Meduna River and numerous streams that descend towards the plain, but also because of the existence of many water points like springs, fountains, washhouses, and drinking troughs. Sadly, with the end of farming businesses and the expansion of construction, but mainly due to the damage caused by the devastating earthquake of 1976, many of these relics were lost. Through a revival and development project promoted by the town's government and carried out with the indispensable support of associations and volunteers from the area, some of these sites were recovered. An interesting example is the Recoaro mineral spring, which is located some 100 meters from the church and is reachable via an adjacent tourist path that is immersed in the woods. The small lakes, which are characteristic from a naturalistic point of view, are located in the vicinity of the Meduna River's banks and are about a 15-minute walk from the populated area. Here, you can admire a landscape and a setting that is truly unimaginable, both from the point of view of flora and fauna. A bicycle path runs through the municipality of Cavasso Nuovo. It extends for several kilometers up to Maniago, the town that's famous for its knife factories. But there are many other paths that can be tackled by bike to discover other locations in the town. Since the 1960s, the economy of the community has more or less been based on agriculture and small livestock farming businesses. Because of its geographic position and its unique exposure to wind and sun, Cavasso Nuovo's territory has always been ideal for the cultivation of products of the land like cherries, various vegetables like beans, potatoes, salad, cabbage, and pumpkins, but above all, onions. And indeed, the red onion of Cavasso Nuovo, which is today the traditional product and symbol of the territory, along with being a brand of the slow food Presidia, is well known and appreciated throughout the entire province of Pordenone and the whole region for its nutritive and organoleptic properties. It is very aromatic with a particular sweetness and delicateness that make it unmistakable. It is cultivated in adherence to a strict production procedure that ensures naturalness and quality, and it is because of these old farming methods that it has once again regained its former popularity. After being gathered and weighed, the onions are wrapped by hand in so-called braids, which are beautiful to look at and easy to utilize commercially. Every year, the municipality of Cavasso Nuovo, along with the surrounding municipalities of Andreis, Fana, Frisanco, Maniago, and Meduno, organize a traveling exhibit of old apples, almost 70 different varieties, which were preserved and are to this day cultivated in the above-mentioned territories. The Botanical Park, which is where all the different cultivars of the area still present today are preserved, is located in Fana, just a few kilometers from the center of Cavasso Nuovo. All these typical local products, along with game, cold cuts, encased meats, various cheeses and byproducts, become the base for many traditional recipes of the area. Apples and onions, for example, merge wonderfully in the preparation of main course meat dishes. But we must not forget the pitina, which in these areas at the slopes of the Val Tramontina has achieved considerable success over these last few years. This goat and sheep-based cold cut was once considered poor, but today it has an endless amount of culinary interpretations from appetizers to main courses. It is delicious with polenta and local ricotta cheese. Let's not forget that we're in Friuli, the land of excellent wines, with which these delicacies go splendidly. A few years ago, a brewery that produces handcrafted beer was opened. Here you can taste excellent beers, both traditional ones and those that have local seasonal fruit as a base. It's very interesting to see the different processes and steps that are necessary to prepare this international product, with which great pride has made Cavasso Nuovo known throughout the world thanks to awards and recognition that the beer has received at numerous festivals. The main particularity of the Birra di Mani is the appellation given to every type of beer, as they get their names from the many hamlets in the town. From blonde to pale yellow, from red to dark, from cherry beer to chestnut, and even pumpkin, there's one for all tastes. Presently, the brewery produces 16 types of beers of the most varied tastes and flavors. In addition to the red onion, Cavasso Nuovo is also known for the production of pumpkins. And every year during the first week of October, on the occasion of the feast of the patron saint Remigius, the traditional pumpkin feast is held. Here you'll find wine and food kiosks where you can taste typical dishes made with products of this area. And thanks to the ever-present Alpine troopers and the participation of many residents of the town, there is a special festive air that's taken in by all. Along the streets of Cavasso Nuovo, there are a great many stands that promote and value local craftsmanship and that creatively offer a different interpretation of this enchanting area. This day truly becomes one of the early autumn events in the province of Pordenone that is not to be missed. This is how the municipality of Cavasso Nuovo presents itself, with a strong connection to its secular roots, to its history and local customs, all integrated into a context and an area where the last few years have seen an ever greater rebirth of tourism that's driven by nature, sports, and traditional wine and food.